today I'm going to be showing you guys the best Fortnite controller for 2022. I would say I have a pretty decent controller collection, and I've also done a little bit of research into the controllers that pro players use. But before we get to that, I need to mention, if you find yourself enjoying this video, please don't hesitate to drop a like on it. It really helps out. And I make controller videos just like this all the time, so if you like them, subscribe to the channel. So before I hop into any games, I want to show you guys this Excel sheet that I made. And it basically just tells you all the controllers that these pro players are using. So you can look down the players list: Miro, Day, Nutify, Illis, Scope, TK, Colazzo, Leshy, Wolfies, Faceway, Furious, Bully, Hazard, some of the top arena leaders. So in total, there's 23 different pro players here. And honestly, it's all the pro players I can think of. I'm probably missing a lot of them. But in this category, you can see all of the controllers that these guys are using. So we can see 8 of them, or about 35% of these 23 players, are using a PS4 controller. 6 of them are using Scuf Impact controllers. Then 2 of them are using a PS5. 2 of them are using an Xbox One. 2 of them are using a Scuf Infinity. And then 1 is using an Xbox Elite. 1 is using a Scuf Prestige. And 1 is using a PowerAy Fusion Pro 2. So just in these top 23 players, you have 8 different types of controllers. And this list pretty much all made sense to me, except for one thing surprised me kind of a lot, and that's how many pro players actually use Scuf controllers. If we add up all the Scufs, that's 9 pro players that use a Scuf controller. I might just have to go buy one to see what the hype is and try it in a video. But I wanted to show off that list so I could hop into a game and talk about all the controllers and kind of the reasoning behind, because I mean, as you just saw, there's a pretty wide variety, and I mean, these are pro players, so obviously each one of these players has been able to be successful on the controller that they use. Oh, that scared me. I would say while controllers probably aren't as important as like your binds or your actual settings in game, your specific controller that you use can contribute a lot to how good you are in game. Obviously, if you have like a knockoff PS4 controller that has a lot of input delay, that's gonna hinder how good you are at the game. But at the same time, it's not just broken controllers that make you worse at the game. There's other controllers that you can buy that have all these fancy accessories that can also make you better at the game. See if I can show off this aim a little bit. Alright, that wasn't bad. No, I'm automatic. Yeah, I'm dead. Everyone has their standard controller that came with the console, but the real question, the question that's really hard to answer, is whether or not you should go out and spend more money on a different controller. So obviously there at the beginning of the video, you guys saw that there were 8 different types of controllers among the 23 pro players. But something that's important to mention is that controller players all have different needs. I mean, players like Faceway, who have learned and mastered Claw, they don't need anything but a standard PS4 controller to be insane at the game. So really, the only thing that matters at that point is if it's comfortable and if it has low input delay. So you have players like Faceway or Day that have found that the PS4 controller is the most comfortable to play Claw on. But then at the same time, you have players like Parm and Illis who have found that playing Claw on an Xbox One controller is more comfortable. So at that point with like Claw, it's pretty much personal preference. But then you have players like Colazzo who use paddles. So because Colazzo has learned how to play paddles, he can't just use any normal standard controller. He's limited himself down to only controllers with 4 paddles. Bro, there's so many people here. I literally hate playing like that, but it's so easy. Oh, what a cone. Oh, come on. Oh, let's go. So when we're here talking about what is the best controller, it also kind of depends on what type of player you are. Oh, the ADS steps is so slow, but it's so needed at the same time. Let's go. And to go along with that, these are all pro controller players. All of the controller players on this list have made thousands of dollars from Fortnite. A lot of them have even made hundreds of thousands, and there's some of them that have even made over $1 million from Fortnite. So when their main tool to earning all this money and being good at the game is their controller, they're not really gonna skimp out, and they obviously want the most advantages they can get in game. Oh, yeah. Dude, these guns are so balanced. They're definitely not overpowered. That's where these higher end controllers with a bunch of features start to come in. We start to see controllers like the Scuf Impact, which fully spec'd out are literally almost $300. But for almost any of these guys to spend $300 on a controller, it literally does not matter. That $300 controller could literally win them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, right. This dude's annoying me so much. Third party, sit there and spray. Yup, that's what you get. Oh, here we go, another third party. Oh, I want both these kills. I think both of them are cracked right now. I actually want both these kills. go. We got one. Let's go. Got both of them. Showing off that nice little shotgun aim. But with these $300 controllers comes like these extra features like digital tap triggers. There's different styles of thumbsticks. You can have domed, you can have concave, you can have low rise, high rise, mid. The controllers come with different textures or different grips on them. On most of them you can switch out your D-pad for like a disc thing. More expensive controllers obviously have less like input delay. And I mean, some of these more expensive controllers, if you really want, can even have mods on them. Not saying that any pro players do that, but I'm just saying the possibilities with spending more money on a controller, like you get a ton more advantages when you spend more money. Bro, you are not gonna try to boom battle me. I absolutely love the settings that I'm on. They're literally so good. So like I said, there's Scuf controllers that go for $300. I think I've even seen some go as high as $400. And then obviously you have like your standard PS5 controller, which is $70. You have your standard PS4 and Xbox at $60. And then you can even get like third-party controllers. Like I think PowerA has a pretty decent controller for like $30. Or there's even some like really random like PS4 knockoff controllers out there for like 15, 20 bucks. So the price range definitely varies pretty heavily. That look sense almost got me killed, but it still came in clutch actually with that SMG aim. And I guess because the price range varies so heavily, that kind of brings up the question, is it worth it to sort of invest in a better controller? And I use the word invest because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you obviously want to get better at Fortnite. And if you want to play competitive or get better so you can make better content, then spending that money and buying a better controller could actually make you more money than the controller actually costs in the long run. So I guess the answer to if it's worth it to invest in a better controller setup is kind of up to you. It seems like with this upcoming competitive season, they're gonna make it a lot easier to actually win money. So if you think that you're good enough to actually compete in competitive, and you think that a $300 Scuf controller would give you a better shot at winning money, and you think that'd be worth it, then definitely it's worth it. But if you're just kind of a casual player and you don't have a ton of extra money, it's probably not gonna be worth it to go out and spend $300 on a controller. Oh, let's go. Literally didn't miss a shot there. Oh, there's another guy. Of course you're gonna launch away. I do have a personal favorite controller, but it's kind of more of a controller setup because if you look at my controller, I actually have a lot of different accessories on my controller. The base controller that I use is the PS4 controller, and then on my right stick, I have the mid-rise Galaxy Control Freak. I also have the Control Freak grip on my controller, and then I also have the Strike Pack Eliminator, which adds 4 extra buttons to my controller. And I always have to preface this saying I don't use any of the mods, and literally the only reason that I use them is because of the paddles, because you can get this 4-paddle attachment, which is really comfortable and it works really well, and it's literally only $30. What am I doing? Oh, he just got fried. Oh, that was my wall. What am I doing? I should have just edited it. Let's go. Typically, to buy a 4-paddle controller, you have to buy like a Scuf Impact. That's $300. Or you can buy an Xbox Elite. That's like $200. So that's like one of my favorite things about my setup. If I don't count the actual controller itself, since pretty much everybody has a normal controller already, then adding all these accessories was only an extra like $65. This is gonna rotate. I feel bad for this dude. Probably just wants to win. So sorry. Oh, of course. So I literally turned my controller into like a $300 controller for only an extra like $60. And the cool thing about doing it this way is if you don't have a ton of money laying around, you can buy things separate. So it's not even like you have to go out and drop $70 at once. If you want, you can buy like the Control Freak thumbstick first. That's $15. And then say a couple weeks down the line, you buy the controller grip, which is an extra $15. And then you save again, and in like a month or so, you buy the Strike Pack, which is an extra like $35. And just like that, you have a super high tier controller setup, and you didn't have to go out and spend a ton of money at once on it. I mean, that's my personal favorite part about my controller setup. I'm literally so low on mats. Oh, my last mat to get my launch pad down. Dude, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Bush? Jam down. Nothing like sitting in a bush endgame because you don't have any mat. Does this guy know that I'm here? Yep. Good thing he missed literally all of his shots. Dude, what am I doing? I didn't pick up any of his mats. Oh, that was so dumb. I should have just tanked zone for it. go. Get his man. Oh, that scared me so bad. Let's go. No way I win that. That's actually kind of crazy. This controller setup, 11 elims. That's pretty solid. So that was the best controller setup of 2022. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to catch you in a future video.